Good morning, D1. Happy Monday. Let's go ahead. Let's talk about what our jobs are for today. So, first things first, I want you to notice on our homepage we have a banner. We have a material pickup this Friday. So, please just keep that in mind. Remind an adult that there is a material pickup this Friday. So, please have someone come ready to pick up your material so that way we are set to go for February. But let's go ahead. Let's talk about our jobs for today. So, it is the week of the 25th through the 29th, and it is Monday, January 25th, 2021. And let's go ahead, let's talk about what exactly we are doing for today. So, first things first, we are doing our morning work. We are going to discuss it really briefly today during our Zoom as well, but just remember synonyms are words that are the same, right? And so words that are really similar together as one another. So just keep that in mind. Synonyms, remember we've talked about synonyms are same. And so you have audio here for the anchor chart to be read aloud to you, or you can go ahead and read it yourself. Then we can see over here on the right, your job is to go ahead and now create synonyms for the words provided. So cold, so just keep that in mind. And then it is Make Believe Monday. So I'm going to go ahead and click my journal prompt. And for our Make Believe Monday, you are going to be writing a story that takes place in the North Pole. And so you can be really creative with this one. I inserted some pictures for inspiration. Remember, you do not have to do something based off these pictures. They're just there for inspiration if you're kind of feeling a little the northern lights, you might have heard them called, super pretty. And then there's a picture over here. It's loading, but you can see there's a polar bear on an iceberg ranges, and some just like icebergs and stuff. And so you can go ahead, write a story that takes place in the North Pole. You should have a total of 5 to 6 sentences using lots of details. And so make sure if you need them, you have sentence frames and starters here on the right. Again, you do not have to use these, but if you're feeling a little stuck, these are here for you to provide some support. So keep that in mind. After that, we will have our class Zoom at 9 o'clock. We'll discuss some of our general items, including our spelling skills, and then move on to talking about area. After our Zoom is over at 10 o'clock, we are going to go ahead. You are going to move on. You are going to be learning about the desert and complete a quick check on it. You are going to be reading about the desert. And remember, we talked about this before. This is editable text, meaning that it can get deleted. And so you have to be careful. We've talked about this before. You have to be careful. So if I highlight something and I press the delete button, uh-oh. Do I just pretend like it didn't happen? No, I go and fix it. So I do not close out of the page. I put my hands up real quick and say, okay, I remember I need to press the undo button. So the only reason why my mouse is moving right now is because I'm taking it over here and pressing the undo button. Oh, okay, it's back. And now I can continue my work. Do not close out of the window. Do not, try and go back, press refresh. Do not press anything like that. Just press the undo button and it will come straight back. But it's editable because you guys are going to go through, read, or listen to these 2 pages. Then you're going to move on to slide number 3. Remember, I talked about, again, just really briefly touching on deleting. If you delete a slide and you do not tell Miss Walsh or ask for her to help fix it and you didn't press the undo button before you closed out, you're going to lose points. We talked about that before. It's not okay, especially if you don't tell Miss Walsh. You guys know before you turn it in. So just keep that in mind, please. That's not using integrity if you delete slides and then you don't let Miss Walsh know, and then you just turn it in, expecting Miss Walsh just to be okay with it. I'm not okay with it. So make sure if you accidentally delete something and you can't get it back because you closed out, let Miss Walsh know so we can fix it. But anyways, going back now to this question, it's the exact same thing that we did last week when we read about biomes. So you're going to go through, you're going to answer these questions, and go back to the text to highlight the sentence or sentences that helped you come up with your answer. So that way you're letting Miss Walsh know, hey, Miss Walsh, I know my answer's correct because right here it says da 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 da, and I marked it with yellow so you can find it. So that is what you're going to do for each of these. So blue, green, pink, and then yellow again. I know yellow repeats, but that's no biggie. And then after that, you are going to take a break. After your break, you're going to come back. You're going to complete your spelling job. We are practicing silent E and what happens to vowels when we have a silent E at the end. And so we're going to be talking about that today. And we are going to be separating our words into long vowel sounds and short vowel sounds. And so we'll discuss that a little bit more during our Zoom today. But you're going to see in long vowel sounds, our vowels A, E, I, O, U will say its name. And in short vowel sounds, they will not say their name. And so we'll talk about that again a little bit more during our Zoom today. And then we have Stuart Little. You're going to go ahead, you're going to click the book. We are reading chapter 4. We're getting through this. So we're starting to now understand a little bit of the trouble Stuart Little is having being a mouse while living with humans, and just kind of the struggle that he's going through. And so in this chapter, we're going to be introduced to another character who is maybe not so kind. And so we're going to keep that in mind as we are listening to chapter 4, exercise. And so you're going to go ahead, you're going to listen to the story. You can click on the book and you can listen to the audio this way, or you can click on the speaker here and listen to it that way. Then on slide number 2, you are going to go ahead and respond to the questions. For number 2, when it's talking about the conflict can be classified, so it's talking about the most general conflict. What are we noticing? Well, we were just talking about how we were noticing Stuart Little having a really hard time being a mouse within a human household, and so now we're needing to think about the conflict. Is the conflict mouse versus self? So is Stuart having a conflict within himself and his heart? Is he having some trouble? Or is it Stuart having trouble, mouse versus animal? He's having trouble with himself and another animal? Or is the bigger issue here mouse versus society? So Stuart Little versus a human society. And so just keep that in mind. That's what number 2 means. And then number 5 is asking about, well, what happened because of number 4? So just keep that in mind when you are answering those. Then we have lunch. After lunch, we are going to go ahead and do area. We're going to be discussing area in our Zoom today, so just keep that in mind. You're going to click right here. You will see it says finding area. And you are going to go through. Slide number 1 is an example. So you will not do anything to the slide except just look at it. If you need a reminder for exactly how you're supposed to find area. And then you will move on to slide number 2 and you will respond. Remember, you complete this job by clicking on the box. You can see there's a text box, double click, and this is where you will write your equation and answer for finding the area of this shape here. And then after your area job, you will have I Ready Math 30 minutes. You just go ahead, you click the I ready symbol. It will take you there, log in with Active Directory, and so on. And then you will be there for your math. And that's going to be it for this Monday morning. If you have any questions, please let me know. Remember, we have office hours from 11:30 to 12:30, and so that's your time to drop in. If you have any questions about assignments, if you're a little confused, just come on by and we can work on it together. But that's going to be it for this Monday. And if you guys have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you at our Zoom. Bye, D1.